Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading for June 2024. So just to let you know, there's a new moon in your sign in Gemini on Thursday the 6th of June in the afternoon. So that may be relevant for you if you want to set intentions or anything like that. So this is the deck I'm going to start off with to get a message for the start of your reading, the Moonology deck. Just wanted to thank you for supporting the channel. And I feel like there's something else I wanted to say. Just to say, this is meant to be like a mini reading. And I am intending to do mini readings for the signs again, sort of mid-month, hopefully. So let's get your message first of all with the Moonology deck. So what does Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising need to know? Okay. You have, right, so you've kind of got two. One's came out face down, but I'll take it anyway. You've got Don't Let Pride Get in Your Way, which is full moon in Leo. And you also have Balance, Spirituality and Practicality, full moon in Pisces. So first thing that comes to mind, and it could be just me making an assumption because it's a Gemini reading, is logic. Is there anything where you might be getting a little bit too logical? And that could be the pride, where you may need to be more balanced with things. And it say spiritually and practically here, but it could also be in terms of intellectual and emotional balance. Okay. There's something that might be coming up for someone about don't lead with your intellect. Not to say, it doesn't mean don't use your intellect at all, but don't sort of let that be the boss, allow the emotions to help with decisions. But let's see what comes up, because that might just be like a little side message if it's not the whole message. So I've changed the lighting and now it feels like it's too dark, but I kind of prefer it like this. But anyway, what does Gemini, Sun, Moon or Rising need to know for June 2024? One of my sayings when it comes to logic is great, but don't logic the shit out of everything. Because I do that sometimes. Anyway. And I think what card has come out? Yep, Two of Cups. Two of Cups. So it may be relationship related, where you need to balance out the logic and the emotions. And I often say, and I think this kind of came out reversed actually, I'm going to leave it upright, but I came out reversed because one of the meanings for me of the Two of Cups is relationships and connection, that sort of thing, and sharing your cup. But for me, it's understanding as well. And if there is a situation where we get too logical, that can create misunderstandings. It can create a lack of compassion, because we just try to logic everything, don't we? But let's see what else comes out. And even in terms of, because we've said relationships aren't just with people. There's relationships with everything from your job to food to exercise to social media even. So it might be that, not necessarily a specific relationship with a specific person. But let's see what else comes out. So you've got the Seven of Pentacles. That is a card of, is it worth it? We've got the Ten of Pentacles. And Six of Swords. This is interesting. Okay, so you might be trying to make a decision based purely on logic and practicality. And as I say, obviously logic and intellect isn't all bad, because I think we need the balance of both to make a decision. But let's clarify. I have got some thoughts on these, but I want to clarify it rather than making assumptions about things. I'll just say it and then we'll see what else happens. So in terms of a relationship, whether it is a person or just a situation that you are relating to, you may be questioning if it's worth it based on the practical side of things, and if it's guaranteed to be long term, or if it's guaranteed to be safe, what word am I trying to say here? Secure, I think is the right word. I don't know what word I was trying to say then. Secure, like long-term stability, long-term security, abundant, like practically abundant. You might be basing decisions on that. And sometimes situations that we get into, it's not a means to an end, is it? It's not about you. I mean, obviously, yes, we want to get something at the end of something, but sometimes it's the experience, you know, every bad. And I got this card actually because I get weekly like oracle card messages because I'm subscribed to Carl Gray on his mailing list, and I get weekly messages. And the message I got this week, which is completely relevant, was about relationship assignments, where it basically said every relationship that you have is an assignment, whether you do end up marrying, I mean, it didn't say this part that I'm going to say next, whether you end up marrying the person or whether the relationship ends on bad terms, it's an assignment. Like there's always something that can be learned. And I don't know why I'm bringing relationships into it so much, but probably because it's relevant to someone. A lot of relationships will have, it's the experience, isn't it? It's not that the point of it is that you end up marrying the person, it's that you gain the experience and you learn different things in each situation. So the point is not how practically stable or secure or abundant it will be, it's to have the experience and the emotions and all of that comes with it, and learning how to relate and connect to people better. Like hopefully each relationship we have, we become better at being in relationships, and not just being a partner but being ourselves, because we can end up losing ourselves in relationships as well, can't we? So it's being able to be yourself in a relationship and be a good partner and communicate with the other person and you know, make things work. You learn what works, you learn what doesn't work, and it's a lot, because obviously everybody's different as well, so you're learning how to deal with different people and be yourself with different people. And yeah, I know I'm rambling a bit. Anyway, let's look at the Two of Cups and see what comes up for that. So you have, that's the spirituality, the balance of the spirit. Oh wow, this is really interesting. Love this. There's the spirituality, there's the practicality. Who is more practical than the Knight of Pentacles? Maybe the King of Pentacles, but the Knight of Pentacles is practical as hell. So in terms of gaining a sense of understanding about a person or a situation and how you relate to it, again, the balance between spirituality, so your intuition, your gut feelings or emotions, and the practical side of how things are working as well. Spirituality again with the Hanged Man. This is going to be interesting to see what comes out. Oh wow, right, bottom of the deck, the King of Swords. He's logic, isn't he? He's the logician. Right, anyway, Hanged Man again, spirituality, it's going within, and the spiritual perspective, the spiritual development within yourself and trusting that. And we have the Six of Cups. Okay, I'm going to get one to go with that Six of Cups. I keep grabbing the mic for some reason. That might be where pride comes into things, because you've got the Wheel of Fortune here. So in terms of pride, it can be, if you bring in too much practicality and logic into things, it can be where the pride part is that you don't want to make the same mistakes. I was going to say it might be the opposite actually, in terms of maybe there's too much, because I'm focusing on the logic side here, saying, oh, there's probably too much logic, too much practicality. It could be the opposite. It could be that there's too much spirituality in it, and that's the pride, you know, like in terms of beliefs. If you're, say one example, if you were in a romantic relationship with someone and you have, your spiritual beliefs are completely different, whether it's literally because you're different religions, or someone's an atheist and someone's a new age spiritualist or something, that could even be where the pride is, where you're looking and thinking, you know what, this is never going to work because our beliefs are far too different. And to be frank, realistically, there probably is a slimmer chance it's going to work if your beliefs are different, because our beliefs and values are part of the foundation of who we are, aren't they? So you're not being irrational thinking that, but unless you actually explore the relationship and talk to each other and try to get a sense of understanding about where you're coming from and respect each other, you wouldn't know. You know, like if you went on a first date with someone and you know that your religious beliefs are different, unless somebody is being highly offensive, which is possible that someone would be highly offensive on a first date, you're not necessarily going to know, are you, if things would work out, because you've got the differences in your beliefs. You probably, if you are attracted to each other and you enjoy each other's company, you probably need to give it more time to see how those beliefs would impact things, rather than having that pride of, oh well, I believe this, they believe that, there's no way it's going to work, and I'm not changing my beliefs. And don't believe me, I've been there, where I can get pretty stubborn. I think because I've been ridiculed for my beliefs at times in life, I'm pretty stubborn now, where I'm like, right, if that person is so against what I believe in, I don't want anything to do with them. And sometimes it's protection. You protect yourself by doing that. And other times it's like, you know what, you could drop your defenses a bit and you probably could have a decent conversation with that person who opposes your beliefs if you let your guard down a little bit, and you need to meet each other halfway. So anyway, let's look at that Seven of Pentacles. So it could be either way. You may either you're too practical or too spiritual, and there needs to be a sense of understanding here, you know, for something to be more peaceful, I would say. But let's look at the Seven of Pentacles. So the deck is definitely not in reverse. We've got the Page of Pentacles, yeah. It's a closed off energy. Page of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Cups in reverse. It's not giving something a chance. Yes, the Seven of Pentacles is a card of assessment. It asks, is it worth it? But that's pretty closed off. That's like, I don't even want to try. I don't even want to open up. So whichever end of the spectrum you're at, whether you're too spiritual, too practical, if that's what it is, then is it worth giving it a chance? Can you give it a chance? Can you have an open mind? Can the other person or the situation that's involved, can that meet you halfway, or they meet you halfway? Okay, try and do this without knocking the tripod out. So you've got the Ten of Wands, and it feels too hard with that Ten of Wands and Eight of Swords. It's like and maybe you have given to this, because the Seven of Pentacles, it can be where you've given to a situation already, can't it? And you're like, you know what, I've given to it and I don't think it's going to work. It can be where you've already done that and it just feels too hard. And maybe it is, maybe you've done that, and maybe the point of this is that it's gone too far now, and the point for someone, if it's not a current situation that you're dealing with, it's that you're having to let something go, but that doesn't mean that you have to give up. You know what I mean? Like, say if you, again, say going back to the spiritual belief things, if you were like New Age or something, or you're a Wiccan or something like that, and you're like, oh, I'm never dating someone who's not a Wiccan ever, like you refuse, you'll only date people who are the exact same beliefs as you. It might be saying to yourself, okay, so with this one person, it didn't work out, or maybe it's more than one person, it didn't work out, but does that mean that you will never ever give someone who has a different belief to you, you'll never give anyone different from you a chance ever again because of those past experiences? Or if you met someone who the feelings were there, you got on well with each other, you open up a bit and think, you know what, it didn't work out with those 10 other people who had different beliefs, but this one person who has different beliefs, or someone in the future who has different beliefs, there's a chance that it could work if we're both willing to meet each other halfway. So that could be the pride as well, that you've just like, you've come out of a situation, you're like, yeah, I'm never trying that ever again now because it just doesn't work for me. Let's look at the Ten of Pentacles. Hope I'm making sense. I know I am rambling a bit with this one, but right, so we've got the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Three of Swords. Okay, and that is clarifying. What was that clarifying? The Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles, I said, was it's concerns about if something's going to be long term, if it's going to be abundant, etc. Cups cards and a Wand card there. That would be where, to me, it's I guess it's just going to sound corny, but like following your heart and following your desire, not blindly, as in like you only listen to what your heart wants and what your desires want and don't pay attention to red flags and logic and that, but don't let any kind of pride or practicality or logic block what you feel and what you desire. Don't let it stop you. Don't let it hold you back. Again, if you got to a point in life where you thought, oh, I can't date anyone who has a different belief to me ever again because it just will not work, it's too hard, you know, you could be blocking yourself from the most amazing person who is into something completely different from you. There might be fears of getting hurt again if you've already been hurt before, or if you're in a current situation, you might be thinking, this is just isn't going to work, I'm just going to get hurt. You know, don't let your heart get blocked, because that's a form of limiting beliefs, isn't it? Pride is a thing that limits it has an impact on your beliefs and it limits you. Let's look at the Six of Swords and wrap this up, because this one, as I said, it's a bit longer than planned. So one way of looking at it is that you want peace. Again, it might be having to move on if you've just come out, or you're at the end of a situation where you've just tried it all and it just isn't working. So that's one way of looking at it, and you want to go on to peace, but you have to, with the Empress, it's a card. One of the meanings is knowing your worth, isn't it? Even if someone disagrees with you or has a different belief, or a situation it goes against your beliefs, it's standing strong in who you are and what you stand for and your authenticity. Let's see what else comes out. So the King of Cups, it can be, as we say all the time, it can be someone that keeps to themselves. So again, beware of that. Don't let your emotions get blocked. But also, it's that emotional maturity and intelligence as well. And again, that meeting people halfway. Yes, you know, stand strong in your beliefs and who you are, etc. But you gotta kind of have compassion for others as well. If you expect people to have compassion and understanding for you, you kind of have to do it for them as well. And obviously, if you're giving too much of that, then you need to learn how to balance that out as well. So yeah, as I said, just to summarize that last card, Six of Swords, it might be moving on from past situations, but going forward, again, knowing who you are and not blocking yourself. Not blocking yourself from abundance. It would be the same it would be the same kind of energy in the present as well. You want that sense of, you want it to flow, don't you? You want things to flow. You want to be able to be yourself. And there's a need to create understanding with that if possible. Obviously, if your situation really is too hard and you're just constantly butting heads and you can't find a way out, then do what you gotta do. But be open, be compassionate, don't let the pride get in the way, and see what you can do. So I'll leave that longer reading there. Thank you for watching. Take care. Hi Libra, welcome to your reading for June 2024. Thank you as always for supporting the channel. Just to let you know, there's a new moon in Gemini on Thursday the 6th of June in the afternoon. If you are thinking of setting any intentions, the reading might help with that. So this is meant to be a mini reading again, and I am intending to do mini readings for the signs again, sort of mid-month. I feel like it's best to do it every other week rather than every single week. So I'm going to get a message from the Moonology deck first of all to start the reading off. So let's see what comes out for Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising for June 2024. Oh, that's a lot. I feel like I should try that again. I will keep them though. Gotta learn to trust myself more. So, right, we have, I'm not sure which way. I feel like it goes... I'll leave it as it came out. So we've got prosperity lies ahead. I feel like two other signs got this one. So that's new moon in Taurus. You have believe in the impossible, blue moon. Is somebody winning the lottery? Hope it's me. With that believe in the impossible, and you have work through your fears, which is new moon in Scorpio. So the believe in the impossible was blue moon. You know, that whole once in a blue moon thing. Right, so let's get your tarot cards out and see what comes up for you. So whatever you're worried about, as cliche as it might sound, it's probably going to be fine. but probably based on working through your fears. If you stay in a state of worry and anxiety, it might delay things, which I know is an annoying thing to hear when you get a reading. Oh, your anxiety and stress is causing delays, but it does, doesn't it? Or it can, realistically. What does Libra need to know? What does Libra Sun, Moon, Rising need to know? You've got the Strength card. So that, for me, initially, that's the strength to work through any fears. And I often get courage with that, but let's see what else comes up. There's a lot about self-belief in that Strength card as well, I think. But let's see what else comes. King of Cups in reverse. Temperance. I'd say that's like maintaining that emotional balance and working through the fears. And obviously, temperance can be about healing as well, can't it? And the Hanged Man. And I would say that is probably connected to working through your fears as well as one message. Because the Hanged Man, it's where you go within, you see different perspectives, there's spiritual development there. So that's part of that process too. What else was I going to say? Surrender with the Hanged Man. It's a card of surrender. And when you look at the King of Cups as well, usually upright, the King of Cups is reserved, emotionally reserved. But with him being upside down, that could be about surrender as well. And then I'm getting the whole thing about flow with that Temperance card too. So that would be flow. It's kind of, I don't know if you'd specifically say it's believing in the impossible, but I guess it kind of is, because you're just allowing things to flow and not trying to force anything or worry about it. You're just letting it flow. It's the energy of flow, isn't it? So let's clarify that Strength card first of all. And fear, which I'm sure I don't really have to point it out, fear is natural. If you are experiencing fear, you know, you can't bypass it, you can't just shut it off. It is a natural emotion. But obviously it's more beneficial for you to work through it than to hold on to it, and because it can block you. So Strength. What do we need to know about the Strength card? Eight of Cups, Queen of Cups, and the Sun. So that I don't know if I said trust with that Strength card. I know I said self-belief, but self-belief and trust are very similar, aren't they? So Eight of Cups, for me, you know, one of my go-to meanings for the Eight of Cups, and for this reading it's particularly relevant, is not settling, being willing to face the unknown. Again, with that fears thing, if you're wanting something to happen and you're worried it's not going to happen, it's really strange, because we often hear about you shouldn't fear the unknown, but to me it's kind of natural that a part of you would fear the unknown. You know, maybe not 100%. You might be like 50-50, where half of you is scared of the unknown and the other half is excited. I think it would be unnatural to have zero fear. For the most part, it would be unnatural to have zero fear whatsoever, wouldn't it? So if you have an opinion on that, feel free to share it. But yeah, so it's about facing the unknown and not settling, and having as I said, I did mention courage, but there's, as I say, self-belief in that as well. Queen of Cups for me here, trust how you feel. I know I've said it before and it probably sounds cliche at this point, but it is for me, trusting how you feel. Your feelings aren't necessarily wrong, even the horrible ones, well, within reason, obviously. You know, things like jealousy, anger, they're not wrong emotions. You know, they're not ideal emotions. Like, we don't really want to be angry and jealous or anything like that, but they are natural emotions, and they are, as I say, it's to be worked through rather than pushed down or bypassed. Because to be frank, I always feel like when you push stuff down, it's a pressure cooker and it's just gonna eventually catch up with you. So we've got the Sun there. Again, that's true. I mean, the sun can relate to prosperity as well. It's trusting that things will work out for the best, which again, it sounds annoying and cliche in a reading, because it's like, well, you're not giving me anything here. You're just telling me to sit still, don't really do anything, and it will all work out. That's not exactly what I'm saying, but it does kind of come off that way. Let's look at the King of Cups. So I would say that for me, the key word with that Strength card is self-belief, I think. Okay. King of Cups in reverse. Right. Four of Wands in reverse. Do I want to take these? I'm going to try that again. That did not feel right at all. Not at all. Try it again. There we go. That's better. So which one first? Three of Pentacles first. Right. Three of Pentacles. Six of Cups. Okay. Yeah, I get that. Queen of Swords. Okay. Right, so I mentioned surrender with that King of Cups being in reverse. And I would say, well, it's cup, so it's emotional. So again, there's this thing about feelings not being wrong or right in this reading, and accepting certain feelings. But anyway, one of the things in terms of surrender here with that Four of Wands being in reverse is, you know, when some things, well, the perception that I have in life is, I mean, I've said before, I'm not that much into like conscious active manifestation. Obviously, yes, if you want something, I believe you put physical effort into it and do what you can, do as much as you can, and then, you know, take it from there. But I feel that we are capable of creating certain things, but I feel we also have soul contracts as well. And some things are meant for us, and some things are not meant for us. And I think there are some things that no matter how hard you try to make that particular thing happen, it's not for us. It's not part of our soul contract. It's not part of our journey. It's just not for us. We've got our mission is different from that. And I feel like that's what that Four of Wands is being able to surrender and let go of things that are not for us. I'm not sure why I feel that way, but that's what it is. That's what that feels like. And I'm not even sure how that's relevant here at this point in time. I guess it's part of that surrender energy where you've got the Three of Pentacles. I guess that would be the things that are for us, and it doesn't mean that just because it's for us we don't put any effort in, because the Three of Pentacles, it's people working together, isn't it, or bringing things together. It's almost like surrendering acceptance of what's not for you and what is for you. And even if you suspect that something is not for you, you can always try, can't you? And then however that progresses, you'll see if there's something better. You'll see if it works out. You'll know by if there's just so many roadblocks, that no matter what you do, it just won't happen, that it's probably not for you, and there's another thing or another way or whatever to bring things together. So there's kind of surrendering in that. And I think part of one of the fears with that is where we think that if we can't have one particular thing or do one particular thing in a certain way, there's a fear that, oh my God, I'm never going to be happy if I don't do this, or if I don't get this, or it's never going to happen, or you know what I mean? There's a lot of fear around that, when it's sort of the surrendering to a better way, I think is it's probably a simpler way to put it. Six of Cups being here, for me, it's kind of fears of the past can come up here, but there's also a sense of learning from the past as well with that Queen of Swords as well, and surrendering to what you've already learned, what you already know, and probably being more open-minded and willing to learn new ways and new things as well, because we don't know everything, do we? Okay, sorry, I know that was slightly confusing, but I was trying to get a few points. Key word for King of Cups is surrender to what is and what isn't, I think is a simple way of putting it. Let's look at Temperance. I said that was the flow, letting things flow. Let's see what comes up for that. So you've got the Eight of Pentacles. I mean, that is where when you want something and you put the effort in first of all, or you give it your best shot. Too many have come out there. Let's try that again. Okay. Nine of Swords and the King of Pentacles. Yeah, so again, just reiterating what I've already said, the Temperance card, it is about flow, allowing things to flow, allowing what you think might be impossible. Try not to force anything. I think I'm going to say that not by force thing that I've said before. I can't remember whose reading I said it in, but there was a thing that came up about not by force. Again, some things you just can't force certain things to happen. You can put your effort in, you can try your best, but you can't force certain things to happen. And again, Nine of Swords, fears, anxiety. Once you've given it your best shot and put your efforts in, being in that state of worry and anxiety, it's not ideal, is it? It's not helpful. But if you experience that, it is a natural feeling, it's a natural emotion, and you can do your best to work through it. And how do you work through it? I think with the King of Pentacles being there, it is that self-belief that you can, if something hasn't worked, you can rebuild. It's having confidence that you can persevere, having belief in yourself and confidence that you are able to persevere, do things differently. Let's just get one more for that. Maybe even about if you're feeling anxious, finding, and I'm not the first person to say this, obviously, finding something else to focus on and focusing on something else to build, you know what I mean? In the meantime, so that you're not sitting there worrying and stressing about that one thing. And it's probably not advisable to I mean, for some people, they love, like, I know there's a lot of people with ADHD. I've got friends with ADHD who love to be doing a million things at the same time, and that probably works for them. But for the most part, it's probably more a case of if you've given your best to one thing and you're waiting for the results of that, focus on one, maybe two, also other things to kind of keep you occupied and keep you in that energy of that flowy, building, creating positive energy, rather than sitting and waiting and thinking, oh, that didn't work out. And, you know, yeah, let's get one more after that King of Pentacles. So you've got the Lovers, the Justice card, and the Knight of Cups. That to me feels like not losing hope, which is what believing the impossible is. It's hope, isn't it? Hope is believing in the impossible. We'll put that there and move on to the Hanged Man. You've got the Empress, Page of Cups, you have the, I'm just deciding what order to put them in, the Two of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Two of Cups. Okay, give me a minute. So I feel like, again, there's that self-belief with the Empress being there, because she, I don't know why the word faith is, well, faith, yeah, faith, trust, etc. You might need to learn to have more faith in yourself with that clarifying the Hanged Man, and believe in yourself more with the Empress being there, with the Hanged Man as well. The Page of Cups is giving me the hope vibes again, holding on to hope. And the Hanged Man can also be limbo as well. So it can be about learning to develop more of this, more belief in yourself, etc. But also advising that while you are in limbo, if there's something you're waiting on to happen, or expecting to happen, or wanting to happen, where to sort of keep your energy. Again, keeping your energy in a state of self-belief, a state of hope, getting on with things with this Two of Pentacles, you know, getting on with your day-to-day, or finding something else to focus on to keep you out of anxiety, hopefully. Ace of Swords. Why is the Ace of Swords there? I think that's more around belief again. The Ace of Swords can be about victory and clarity, things like that, but it feels more like, again, like it's belief in your ideas and your ideals. Well, I would say ideas, I think, for the most part. And then you've got the Two of Cups at the end. This is a really unusual meaning for this Two of Cups for me, but what I'm getting is having a healthy, oh wow, okay, yeah, with the Ace of Swords. The Two of Cups with the Ace of Swords is having, as strange as it sounds, a healthy relationship with your ideas and your ideals. Again, what I was saying before about what things, where some things are meant for us and some things are not. Having a healthy relationship with that. Like, I guess the easiest example would be, you know, if somebody says, I want to win the lottery. You can play it and you can hope you're going to win it, but if your whole life is based around spending shitloads of money on lottery tickets and stuff like that, and then feeling devastated every time you lose a lottery game or something, that's an unhealthy relationship with the lottery. Like, maybe put in, and you know, use your own discernment with this, maybe like putting on a lottery, spending, having a limit of how much you spend on that once a month. And being realistic in the terms that it's, what is it, something like 1 in however many million chances of winning it. Like, you can play it, but don't invest all of your money, time, energy and hopes into that. You know, if you are wanting more money, you have to do other things practically. And I know this is a really silly example. You have to do other things to create the money. You can still play the lottery and it's a game of chance and you never know, you could win it one day, but you have to focus on other things and have a healthy relationship with that. And that is just a really wacky example. But yeah, having a healthy relationship with your ideals and ideas, so that you don't get stuck in anxiety, fear, and that you have hope and self-belief in yourself, and that you can carry on with other things, because there's more to life. You've got more going on in your life than just one thing, haven't you, for the most part. Right, that was a bit of a long reading, Libra. I'm going to leave that there. I think that's as much as I can say, because I know there was a lot in that one. Yeah, I will leave it there, and hopefully that made sense to you. Thank you for watching. Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading for June 2024. So thank you as always for supporting the channel, and just to let you know, there's a new moon in Gemini on Thursday the 6th of June in the afternoon if you are wanting to use the reading to help you set intentions or just set your own intentions. So this is intended to be a mini reading by my version of what a mini reading is, which is probably longer than most. And I am intending to do more sign-based readings mid-month, because I feel it's better to do them every other week rather than every week. But we're going to get a message from the Moonology deck for you first of all, and see what Aquarius, Sun, Moon or Rising needs to know for June 2024. So what do you need to know? What's going on? I have to say the air sign readings have been long compared to the other, like just in comparison to the other ones. The fire signs were pretty concise and they all had a similar theme as well, to be honest. But the air ones are seeming to just need a bit, take a bit more time, and yeah, probably slightly ambiguous as well compared to the other readings. But let's see what you need to know. Right, you have, well, you've got two actually. You've got meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces, and you also have your commitment is being tested. So let's get some tarot cards for you and see what comes up, see what else comes up. What does Aquarius, Sun, Moon or Rising need to know? Two of Pentacles. Okay, I'll be honest, I didn't want to judge the reading, and because this has come up for a few of the other, I think there might be a common theme, to be honest, about patience in general with all of the signs this month. I don't know if it's because it's Gemini. We are in Gemini season still, I believe. And Gemini can be an energy like a quicker sort of wanting things to happen yesterday kind of energy. So I don't know if that's why we're being asked to be patient, but it has come up in a lot of the readings about being patient and having trust. I was going to say initially when these cards came out, and I thought, no, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's just see what happens. But to be frank, with that Two of Pentacles, it could be that. Let's see what else comes out. The Hanged Man. Okay. I mean, for me, that is a card of meditation and contemplation, isn't it, really? But yeah, I think the point I was going to make when the Two of Pentacles came out was before the Two of Pentacles, when these cards came out, the question, is it going to work or isn't it, or is it working or isn't it? Something around those kind of lines. Whoop. Yep, impatient energy. Whenever the cards fly out like that, for me, it's can signify that there might be a little bit of impatience or delays or something, and wanting things to happen quicker, or as I say, it might have been a literal delay where something was meant to happen sooner. But let's see what else comes out. Might be better back and forth as well with that Two of Pentacles, whether it's physically or in terms of practically trying to do something. You might even be deciding, what do I do first? Should I do this first? Should I do that first? You might be juggling different things. You've got the Hierophant, and you also have the Nine of Cups. Right, let's clarify that Two of Pentacles first of all. Eight of Wands. Nine of Cups, Seven of Swords. So I will say, just because of some of the cards that have come out here, there could be something where, I don't know if it's a clash of beliefs, but because of the commitment being tested card, it's like the sort of like commitment to your faith, or even deciding what you believe in. And that could be absolutely anything. It could literally be religion, spirituality. It could be a specific spiritual practice, if you're deciding whether you believe in that or whether you want to have it as a practice or not. Or if it's something that would you like, say if it was a religion and there's specific rituals that you have to follow, you could even be deciding, do I actually want to follow that particular ritual, or do I want to kind of do my own thing and make it my own? Because I'm getting a bit of confusion. I mean, for me, this particular Eight of Wands, I know Eight of Wands can be movement in general, but that one's such a chaotic one. It's like someone's peace has been disturbed here, with the Nine of Cups and the Seven of Swords being there too. Anything else with that Two of Pentacles? Yeah, there's a bit of stress with that. So there's a bit of a back and forth, probably not quite knowing what to do or what to choose even. With the Two of Pentacles being there, and obviously meditate and contemplate is kind of deciding what to do or what to choose. So the Hanged Man, what works for you? That's the thing that comes to mind here. What works for you? I don't know, it's making me think of, and I read this because it was one of my favorite books as a kid, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. When I was about 10, I remember being in class and I was reading it aloud to the teacher, and I was, why was I specifically on the part about I must increase my bust, when I was reading that part out aloud and the whole class was listening. But yeah, that was one of my favorite books, and it's reminding me of the plot, spoiler alert, where she's deciding what religion she should choose, because one parent is one religion and one's another religion, and she's deciding what religion. And then I think at one point she's kind of says screw them all, and you know, it's kind of that kind of vibe. Even if it's not exactly religion, it's almost giving that kind of vibe. But anyway, the Hanged Man. What works for you? You've got Justice in reverse there. The Hanged Man, meditating and contemplating on what works for you. I would say something at present is feeling conflicted. Feels like it doesn't work for you. We've got the Page of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. it feels like you want to do something differently because you don't feel free or independent, possibly even authentic in something. Something just isn't, I think you feel like something just isn't working for you, and you want to do it your way or a different way. Let's look at the Hierophant. And you might feel restricted as well with that Nine of Pentacles being in reverse like that. So the Hierophant gets the Queen of Wands, the Death card, the Hanged Man again, Seven of Wands. Holy shit. Right, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if at least one person watching this is cutting ties with a particular religious group or spiritual group or something to that effect, or community even, because you feel like it's just not you. It doesn't work for you. It doesn't feel right. Maybe you feel like you can't be yourself. Maybe you've been you feel like you're constantly being judged, attacked, or told what to do even, or nitpicking, you know, like it's some religions, sects, I'll say, because it's not the whole religion, it's usually sects of a religion, can be quite nitpicky. Like if you don't wear specific things or use specific things, it's like, why are you not doing that? And then you're just constantly being nitpicked at. Let me just get one more for that. Something was sticking out as well. Yeah, Seven of Cups was sticking out. So that's kind of like this, you kind of feeling like something's not right for you and you want something else. And the commitment, your commitment is being tested, comes out, or commitment in general. Your first commitment is to yourself, just my opinion, to yourself and your path. So that could be why this is coming up for you, because it's how committed are you to yourself. Yep, so one more after that Seven of Wands. Right, you've got the Knight of Swords in reverse. To me, that's where you're not able to be authentic. You've got the King of Cups here, who can be quite reserved about how they feel. So something feels like it's just not working for you and you want to change it. Let's look at the Nine of Cups. I mean, that would be the where you get that sense of freedom, independence. It's like the happy spot, isn't it, for you? Whoa, okay, so you got a bunch of cards. You've got the Chariot. I know the cards are a bit messy compared to usual, but Chariot, Five of Swords, the Moon, the Eight of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. It really does look like you want to leave something behind, or a way of doing something behind, because there's conflict. It feels conflicted, whether it's mental conflict or arguments or people saying certain things that that you disagree with. And as I've said before, even if you disagree with people, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're in a hardcore battle with them. It can be like differing, sometimes it can be differing opinions. I mean, I know the Five of Swords is not a good energy. It's usually a really shitty energy, to be frank, because it can be manipulation even, it can be jealousy as well. But sometimes, I mean, you could see it as differing opinions, conflict in that way, but it just looks like you want to get away from that to feel freer. And I feel like saying to feel like yourself, to be honest, is what I'm getting. So it's almost like you want to leave something behind and reject it, and you'd rather go off into the unknown because this just isn't working for you, whatever this is. And you'll know what that means. If the reading resonates, it's a general reading, so you know, however it relates and resonates, you'll know. Is there actually any advice in this? I'm trying to see, because I know I'm sort of telling a story here of what it seems is going on. I guess the main advice that I would take from this is how committed, and it's asking the question which you need to answer, how committed are you to yourself? And if you feel like you're not feeling like yourself, something's not working and it's not authentic, how can you commit more to yourself and who you are? What needs to happen? I mean, obviously for some it looks like walking away or something to that effect, But yeah, those are the questions that you need to ask. Like, what do you need to do to feel like you're being authentic and you're committed to yourself, and what will work for you? So I will leave your reading there, Aquarius. Thank you for watching and take care.